know you said the other night you didn't want to use the word disappointed, but I'm curious, after you have kind of the game that you had in Game 2 and then Game 3 looks a whole lot like it, just what are you feeling about it and like what you're seeing?
Gotta find ways how to win the game. Right now we don't have an identity. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are we going to win the game? Are we going to defend 48 minutes? Are we going to move the ball for 48 minutes? Are we going to attack one play fast for 48 minutes? Or 36 minutes slow down the last 12? Gotta find an identity. We don't have that right now. You know, and you go in Philly game, we're good. But these last 2 games, as you said, we have to find that. We have to find ourselves.
What's going on, YouTube? So the Milwaukee Bucks dropped to 1-2 this season following a rather disappointing loss to the Brooklyn Nets on Sunday. And that loss came on the back of a 133-122 loss at the hands of the Chicago Bulls. And Giannis admitted post-game that the Bucks lacks an identity. Now, as an organization, this is not what you want to hear from your star player this early in the season, because it's just not a good look, especially on head coach Doc Rivers, who was already under a bit of pressure because of how poorly the team played after he took over the middle of last season. But the Bucks are picking up right where they left off last season, as they have a defensive rating of 116, which ranks a pathetic 23rd in the NBA. And we all know defense is one of the biggest problems for them last season and continues to be one right now. And we gotta call it like we see it. This is an old team, and they struggle to keep up with the younger ones. Kobe White had 35 points in that win for the Bulls, while Cam Thomas had 32 for the Nets. So these guys can't guard a parked car, and that's no disrespect to Kobe or Cam, but as a team with championship aspirations, you can't have these types of losses. Now, Giannis is averaging 28 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists a game on a 66% shooting so far this season. But he is not blameless in his team's struggles, as the Bucks are getting outscored by 8.3 points per 100 possessions when he is on the court this season, but they are outscoring opponents by 8.4 per 100 when he sits. Now, obviously, Milwaukee is not better without the Greek Freak, but this team has work to do as a whole. And I think it starts with holding each other accountable, which is something Damian Lillard highlighted on the Knuckleheads podcast.
What is something you and Giannis have to do to get that ultimate goal of a championship?
Me and him got to be able to hold each other accountable. And that don't mean yelling at each other all the time. It just mean like, I got to be able to say something to you.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to say something to me at all times. He's always had to put his foot down in Milwaukee and kind of lead the charge and be kind of like the man to push it forward. And I've always been that way in Portland. And I think now that we together, we both got to look over and say, like, this is a top 75 player too.
Yeah.
And I gotta trust him to carry this with me. You know, I think we both got to do that. After that, we got a shot. We got a shot.
So yeah, man, it's only been a week, but Giannis is right. This team doesn't have an identity, and they are going to have a lot of ground to cover this regular season. But that's all I have for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the comments, and I'll see you in the next upload.